Hey, Jessi Klein.
Liz Feldman, is that you?
Is that? Hold on a second. Oh. Do I see before me?
Yeah, it's me. It's Jessi Klein.
Oh, through the clouds comes a little ray of sunshine.
Kind of.
Well,
on this gray LA day.
it is a gray LA day, and it is always a little bit of a ray of sunshine to see you.
I feel exactly the same way about you.
Thank you. So, I mean, you don't have to say that just because I said it.
I really feel it.
Okay, I appreciate that.
However.
Oh. Well, see, I knew something was coming.
We are. Storm's coming.
Okay.
We are going to be talking today about friends and fighting.
That's right. Not a comfortable subject for me.
You see, I love it.
I know.
I feel like I'm getting into a hot tub.
I know.
This is where the water is warm for me.
Yeah, you love a conflict.
I don't love a conflict.
You have no fear of them.
I don't want there to be a conflict.
Okay,
when you say
fair.
you love a conflict, it makes it sound like
that you're always itching.
that I'm starting.
No,
fights.
you're not a fire starter.
I'm not a fire starter. But if there's a fire, I'll bring my own fire. I'm ready to put on my big boots.
I admire that about you. Like, you're not afraid to just sort of get at an uncomfortable conversation.
I mean, in general, and you are self-professed conflict avoidant.
That's right.
Which I see that in you.
Thank you.
But I have also seen you also have, I think you underestimate your ability to go direct.
Oh, I can go there.
You can go there.
I can go there.
You can go there.
I mean, I have anger inside of me. It's not that I don't feel the conflict. I just don't tell the person.
Yeah. I mean, I have experienced that with you.
It's fair.
You did tell me, and we're just going at this because we did a little prep convo yesterday.
We did.
Didn't totally land on exactly which fights. I mean, we both told each other. We told each other about fights we've had with friends.
We have.
And we went really deep on it.
We did.
You talked about a conflict with a friend that I said, I'm Team Liz on this conflict.
Thank
it
you.
Felt insane to me.
Thank you. However,
what stood out to me the most, other than the insane behavior of this unnamed friend, was that you did not talk to the friend about your feelings about the conflict until 2 years later.
That's right.
During which, it's not like, and then we didn't talk for 2 years, and one day I just had to call her. You were friends with her the whole time. And 2 years later, one day, I'm going to say, let me finish.
Okay.
Apropos of nothing.
Yeah.
You brought it back up with this person. You brought it up for the first time.
First time. This is a first time for everything.
And that's a behavior. I'm judging.
So, yeah, look, I mean.
What's that about?
I think what it's about is that I really don't like conflict. I think that I just want peace at all costs. I don't like volatility. And so I think, especially with a friend that I fear might get a little volatile, I just really tamp it down. And then sometimes, you start to avoid a conflict initially, and then it kind of spirals, and so much time then passes that you're like, well, I can't bring it up now because then I'm the asshole. So
right.
So I think what happened
but
to me,
all the time it's festering into the groundwater. The acid is leaking into every flower and vegetable coming out of the soil.
Okay.
I was with you in the conflict.
Yep.
I was on your side.
Thank you.
I understand being like, I can't handle bringing it up.
Yes.
Like, that's not my style. And we'll get there when we start hopefully talking about me. But I understand being like, I just can't bring it up. But where I part ways, where I need to understand more clearly is how you get to 2 years out. What is the breaking point where your conflict averse nature then has to come. See what my fingers are doing?
I do.
Has to bump up against.
Her fingers are coming together.
My fingers are pointing like this. Conflict versus nature is like, what am I trying to say? I'm now going to do an extremely illogical thing.
Yeah.
Which is go back
2 years.
2 years and bring this up now. And one could say, let it lie. What leads to that?
Thank you so much. I appreciate the judgment. And by the way,
welcome.
was judging myself the whole time. So it's not like I thought my behavior was correct or healthy.
Right.
And I am a festerer. I'm definitely a little OCD. So I will loop a thought over and over and over again until I resolve it. So this was a thought that was like looping. This was a conflict, almost a fight I was having with her in my head.
I mean, every time you talk to her, see her.
Not even that, but even in almost a neutral brain.
Sleeping.
Yeah, not
Dreams.
sleeping, but like
Right.
thinking about it a lot. Like definitely taking up a lot of real
When
estate.
you're not with her and not
Yes.
talking to her.
Yeah, so just repeating it over. And so at a
But
certain...
were you certainly, but it must have also been when you were talking to her and hanging out with her.
I wasn't hanging out with her as much.
Okay, but you were still friends. I think that's
We
a
were
really important
friends
point
in
to
the
make.
in the sort of more community sense, like in in like a group
Right,
of
the
friends
group-
sense,
the group. Yes.
But I think I'm sure I know she felt the retreat that I was
Okay.
definitely doing,
Okay.
and doing on purpose. That I was conscious of, and I was certainly conscious of the fact that I needed to say something, but. I think I just got into like such a bad spiral of not saying something. It needs to be said that when I did bring it up to her, she was like completely unaware that she had done anything to sort of cause these feelings inside of me. And then in the same breath, she was like, and I'm pregnant.
Do you think she sensed at some point, like, I feel like this is going to come back up. What can I do to deflect? I better get pregnant.
She's like, I've got to find a way to make this about me.
I've got to find a way
Yeah.
to pivot back to me.
Yeah. So, and then you can't, and that's that. But if I may say,
A finger just pointed at me.
I think you are a really good friend for me because when we have had conflict, which there hasn't been a lot, but a few times.
I thought you were about to say there hasn't been. I was like, we had a few.
No, we've had a few. We've had a
couple.
few moments
Here
of
and there.
conflict. Listen, we're in business together. We're in
business
friendship together.
together.
We've had a few
Lots
conflicts.
of
We're strong
things.
personalities. Like you come.
We're what?
What?
What'd you say we are?
Strong personalities?
Okay.
Is that a disagree?
No. It's a hard degree. It's a hard degree. I always go with we're big flavors.
Big flavors.
Okay.
We're big flavors.
Okay.
Yes, you're a bold,
and beautiful.
bold, beautiful, and
Your days of our lives.
Thank you so much. But yeah, I appreciate you because you make me want to come right at it. So I know, and especially because we see each other so often and work together, I'm like, I have to resolve this immediately.
Yeah.
And that's been really good for me.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Yeah, so
I'm
you're good
So
at-
glad
yeah.
that my bubbling aggression that I constantly have to take the top off the tea kettle to let the steam out is in any way inspiring to you.
It's I really truly think it's been really good for me.
That's really nice, Liz. I will say I do feel like in my God, it doesn't always just feel so good to say family of origin. In my family of origin.
Yeah.
At least I'll do well, just in terms of my relationship with my parents, less my siblings, and maybe not when I was a kid, but once I became like a young adult, if there is a conflict with them, which there is constantly, just little mini ones, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, there is sort of a
You're allowed to just snap right
there's
at
a
them.
snapping, there's a snapping back, but it's like a little skirmish. And then we move on to the love that is there.
Right.
But I feel like it's that constant letting out
Yes.
that I find very helpful.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's healthy. It's healthy. I still don't like it. It's not comfortable for me,
No,
but
I mean,
you know.
This is a segue into saying I am filled with anger all of the time.
All the time.
And I, just to loop it back, like I don't want to cause a conflict.
Right.
But I think when I see a conflict, I kind of, I'll say relish the opportunity to go fucking ballistic.
Yeah.
Because I am also really self-righteous.
Yes, you are.
I am obsessed with justice.
Yes, you are.
I don't like when someone goes unblamed or unpunished. And like one of my greatest loves in life is to write someone like a decimating text. Like one that will like absolutely shred them that they'll never forget.
Wow.
Now, is that great?
No.
Maybe. I don't do it to people who don't deserve it.
Okay.
I just like, I feel that rage and I love when I feel justified in letting it out.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know if that's healthy. I mean, I'm sure my relationship to rage is unhealthy. I channel it, I think, through what I write more than anything because I don't feel like I can express it.
Right. Weird, every one of my scripts gets along. No, I love writing anger. Part of what was so fun working together with you on Dead to Me was the opportunity to
Write a ballistic bitch.
to write a fucking ballistic bitch. I do love it.
You know who's really good at writing about anger?
Could it be our guest today?
Well,
The person in the hot seat?
it could be, it will be, and it is. Today's friend is a screenwriter, director, creator, writer, EP, and showrunner.
So many hats.
He's written for your favorite shows, including Tuca and Birdie, Dave, and Silicon Valley.
So good.
Or maybe you know him from creating the Netflix series Beef, which earned him 3 Primetime Emmy Awards.
Incredible.
So far.
So far.
You can watch seasons 1 and 2 on Netflix now with the people you love or hate the most. His next venture is writing X-Men for Marvel, which reunites him with director Jake Schreier. Sonny Lee, you're here to make friends.
Hello.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Now, people might not realize this, but you are actually an old friend of mine. We are OG work friends from
Yes.
our Two Broke Girls days. It's weird that you didn't have that in your initial credits.
Oh, that must be a typo. You know, I'll talk to my team.
Seems
I'll
like
talk
a
to my
weird
team.
omission, but,
usually I lead with it. But
Don't worry, I just reminded everybody.
thanks.
First question out. So,
can edit this.
it's so nice to sit next to you. We sat next to each other for many years,
3 years,
on that
yes.
show. And it's kind of like, I look at it as if we were in a foxhole together.
Yeah.
Like so
That's what I
many
tell my
jobs are.
therapist. Yeah.
And I developed during that time, I'm a little older than you, I developed a very protective sort of feeling over you.
You did. Yeah. Which I very much appreciated.
Listen, it was, I couldn't help it. And so to see where you are now just makes me really happy and incredibly proud of you.
No,
so I
thank
just wanted
you.
to start with that,
That's
get it
very
out of the
kind.
way.
I haven't been friends with you until today.
Yes.
Our incredible friendship begins, and I am also so proud of you. Wait, can I just quickly ask?
Yeah.
Why? I mean, the person you sit next to in a room is a big thing.
it's
Because you
huge.
also, it's like, I assume the rule is the same in most rooms, which is that every day is same seats.
Same seats.
Like some people really.
On this show, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was same seats.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like you kind of gotta forge a thing.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
what was the dynamic in which you felt protective of Sonny? And Sonny, why did you not give a shit what happened to Liz?
I did, but I didn't have the. I'm also conflict avoidant.
Yes,
I didn't
yes.
have the spine to be protective. I don't think.
I also, to be fair, I was a little teacher's petty, I think, in that in that experience.
Interesting.
Not on purpose, but I think a little bit. I was treated in a different way than some of the other writers.
Okay.
And Sonny, again, was younger. And, you know, we were all young on the show. It was a long
Yes.
time ago. And, you know, I think our more experienced writers in the room could be pretty intense and, dare I say, bullying.
Yes. I think that's an accurate description.
Yeah.
And I think back then, though, we didn't know any better, and so
Yeah.
we were just like, oh, this is work.
Yeah.
And I'm scared of that side of the table.
Yes.
So I will sit here.
Yes. There was a terrifying side of the table, and then there was our side
And
of the
then
table.
there was your incredible side of the
Yeah.
table. Yeah.
And then I think also maybe when we started, I think I might have been the only writer of color at first.
At first.
Yes.
I mean, yes, you were the
whole time?
No, we
I
had.
don't remember
You were
anything.
definitely the only writer of color of 13 writers.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's cool. That's really comfortable. And
That's what everybody wants.
I mean, I wasn't the only lesbian writer, so that's not fair.
Well, yeah, it's so hard as like a, younger writer in that era to be like, let's not do that joke, please.
It's so hard.
Yeah, and I mean, I think there are times, so many times, where you would say something on my behalf, which I think there was one time where someone pitched for the Asian character, like who owns the diner, of like some sort of like eating dog joke.
Yeah.
And
Whoa.
And you were just like, come on.
And does that make me a hero?
Look,
It shouldn't.
not all heroes wear capes.
Yeah, I know. I mean, no,
Some of them are just in white New Balance in a writer's room.
Yeah.
What's crazy is that it's not that long ago.
No, it's not. 15 years.
Like when I tell other writers, like, younger writers now, they make it seem like this was like, in the 50s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, no,
Felt
or
like
like
it a little bit.
the year started with a 2,
Yes. No, it does feel it does seem like, oh, it's so long ago, and it really isn't. And I feel like I also have so many memories of moments where like I just kind of something would be said that was just mind blowing, and
So
there
many
was
times.
sort of nothing. Like I'll just bring up one, and again, we can cut whatever we want. I won't even name the show, but it was a show I worked on very early in my career. I think, one of the younger writers there, and very toxic showrunner, boss, guess male or female. It was male, and somehow he had it was a rom-com we were writing, and he had like a real hatred for any reference to Sex in the City.
No.
Which was closer at the time to being like something that had felt relevant. Anyway, there was a moment where all you need to know is that we were talking about Carrie Bradshaw, and he said, Carrie Bradshaw was a whore who wanted Mr. Big for his money.
Oh, wow.
And then that just went off in the room. And then we just kind of like moved on. Anyway.
I'd love to put that showrunner in a room with the showrunner we worked for who ran Sex in the City. And would have words about that.
Yeah.
You'd have some thoughts about that.
Anyway, when you work on these shows, when you've gone like had toxic experiences, been like the youngest writer, then you come to this experience where you create this incredible show called Beef. Truly one of my favorite things I've ever seen.
Same.
And I guess how, after going through, again, like a long career, you've done so many things, to work on it and then have it come out and be beyond well received, to be celebrated, like how, and winning every possible award. How did that feel?
I mean, it feels good.
Is that Libra energy?
Feels pretty good. Yeah. I mean, I definitely think about that show we were on a lot through this process.
I'm sure.
Because, I've spoken about this before, but kind of the end of that run of that, like the third year on that show, is when I had kind of like a mental health crisis and ended up in the hospital. And I just remember like every day at work feeling like, oh, like I'm not good at this, or like I don't belong, or, like you're just like constantly like contorting to try and fit this illusion of what like good is, like not just comedically, but like as a human, you know? And then you're never quite getting the flowers from anybody except for the person next to me at the table. and so then that takes a toll. Like you're just like, oh, there's something wrong with me. And I think the last however many years it's been of like therapy and just self-help, it's just allowed me to kind of start being comfortable in my own skin. And then Beef was definitely something that, I was like, okay, let me just like write something that's me and see how that feels. And honestly, like, Liz, you were such an inspiration for that too. Cause I remember I think we had sushi in Culver City. We like caught up after a while, and you were telling me about Dead to Me. Like, I think you were about to start writing it. And it was just so cool to see you like, like kind of shedding you as well, like kind of the other people's expectations of what comedy is or what a half hour could be, and just like doing your own tone. and having been massively successful, I was like, oh, that's like, that is very like hard to do. And it's cool to see a friend doing that. So I'm like, okay, let me try to do that. And to have it, you know, resonate with people, like that's, it does make you feel like, oh, like, why was I like pretending to be anything other than me this whole time? You know?
Yeah.
But it is, you know, in a lot of ways, I'm like glad we went through that. I don't know that I could write this without having gone through some of those troubles, but you know, I do think about that specific period, those 3 years, like quite often.
Yeah, I mean, they were really formidable. You know, it was so strange because it was a hit. Like Two Broke Girls was a huge,
exactly.
It's hard to remember, but it was a huge hit.
I think the thing I think most about now, you were talking about like that hyperfixation. I get stuck in these thought loops where I'm like, Sonny, why didn't you stand up for like yourself or the Asian character, you know, like, because there's so many jokes that got through that are like, you know, like truly make me sweat when I like think about it. And I'm like that's not an example that I'd want like my daughter to think of me as like her dad when she like catches up on, you know, my IMDb or something. You know?
Oh, no, or your daughter will never want to watch anything.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
That seems to be the common refrain I hear from everyone.
And TV will be dead by the time she's
exactly. Yeah, she'll be watching social media on her eyelids by then. But I mean, also how amazing to go from an experience like that where you were, you know, you felt as if you were underrepresenting, you know, in a way, or you know, couldn't feel that you didn't feel that you could stand up for the one Asian character on the show, to go then and write Beef, especially season 1, which had an entirely Asian cast.
Yes,
which was incredible. And so, yeah, I mean, like, and just the success of that, it was such a nice, like, fuck you.
Thank you.
I mean, I definitely, there is sort of like a vindication for sure. I try not to sit in that energy too long, but like
for a minute.
When I have
can
writers,
feel like a hot tub. Come on in.
Well, I'm a fellow Libra, so like I definitely try to. Yeah, there's something like unnerving about sitting in that energy too long. But if I'm hitting like a writer's block or something, there is like a photo I've saved in my favorites of I was on a show. This was, I think, 2009, I want to say, or 2008, and I had left to go to the restroom, came back, and I want to say like our iPhones. Maybe I think they existed, but we couldn't send photos yet or something. And so everyone was like, check your email. So I had my laptop where I sat and I opened it, and they took a photo of one of the writers who had sort of cosplayed a stereotypical Asian caricature of like chopsticks as buck teeth.
No.
They were doing the slanty eyes. And the picture had like all the writers around him laughing, and so and this is like apropos of nothing, you know. I'm just like coming back from the restaurant, and so then like I saw it and I just kind of like chuckled, and then tried to pitch. And so it's just like truly like just compartmentalizing, like stuffing it down, and just like, this is normal, like. Yeah, like there's a weird feeling inside, but everyone else is laughing, so like this is normal. But you know, over time, I've like realized that it's very abnormal, and I have that photo hearted. And when I am in a like writer's block state, or I just don't want to write, I will truly like pull it up my phone. I'll just like stare at it, and then I will like be like, no, I need to. Like, even season 2, which was very, very hard. I kept looking at it to be like, no, you haven't proven yourself yet. Like, people are going to think that season 1's like a one-hit wonder and it was like an Asian thing. And it's just like, no, I need to like keep pushing and keep proving myself because of this, picture.
Yeah.
Sonny, I hate that happened. That is a fucking insanely appalling story. And yet I love that you kept that photo and that
Some
you
Leo
returned
energy,
to it. I mean, but it's kind of a segue to another question we wanted to ask, which is, so obviously we were talking about how Liz knows you. I've never met you, but again, I'm very inspired by and blown away by your work. And I was saying, like, I haven't met him, but I'm so obsessed with the show. And I was like, I need to ask about like the well of anger issues that exist that like he must be tapping into in some way. Again, I just feel I have my own anger issues. And so I just, I'm curious, like, were you consciously aware of like anger stuff that you might be holding? Are you like, fuck you, I'm just a writer who can imagine things and it's not something I struggle with? Or like, do you identify as someone who has issues managing anger in certain ways?
I think I used to, probably, where it would just like come out at random times. Like much like your like 2-year waiting thing. Like I mostly, as my general disposition is like sort of chill, but I'll be like the road rage thing was based on a real life event where I was commuting home from Tuca and Birdie, and then a white SUV like honked at me because I didn't go right away when the light turned green, and the guy like pulled up next to me, flicked me off and said a bunch of things and stormed off, and I was like, oh, I'm going to follow you home. And so I don't know where that came from, and there was another time on Main Street.
And did you follow?
I did,
for a while?
but it was strange because I followed him and he could tell I was following him, but it was rush hour, so it wasn't like a action packed chase. It was just like
5 mile an hour.
Yeah. And we were both, I lived in Santa Monica at the time, and so for some reason he also was going all the way to the 4th Street exit.
No.
And so like for me, like 45 minutes into the commute, I've lost interest. But I think for him, he was like, oh my God, this psycho is following me like across LA to 4th. Who does that? Who would follow someone all the way to 4th Street?
You fuck with the wrong guy.
And so when he exited, he started like cutting people off to try and get away from me, and like almost causing a bunch of accidents. So then it like stirred up my anger again. And so then I followed him some more. So there has been instances like that.
Yeah.
But I think doing the show and a lot of the therapy stuff that I do, it's realizing that anger is generally a secondary emotion. It usually like sits on top of the root. It's not actually like a root emotion. It's like an extension of something else that you're dealing with. Ooh. And so, yeah. And
what do you think about that? At my therapist right now for never telling me that it's a top emotion. And there's what's the root?
It really depends. Like, I think for me, the root is often like, like deep sadness or like true like existential questions of like,
like what's in beef. You're like, I wrote an entire show where I explained what the root is and went into really beautiful character development.
But
that makes sense.
Yeah. And so I actually, I think just as I get older, like the anger is definitely dying down, but it's also, in Korean culture, there's this word called han. That is, there's not like an exact translation, but it is like a combination of anger, existential sadness, revenge, like deep unexplained melancholy. It's just like this, it's like a
soup.
Yeah, it's like a feeling.
Yeah.
And a lot of Korean cinema that I love, I think has that han, like like in the 90s and early aughts, like director Bong and director Park, like, and director Lee Chang-dong, like all their stuff had so much han in it. And
You have a lot of han.
I have a lot of han, yes, yeah. And Han was the name of the
character.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Which I don't think was named on purpose.
I don't think they were aware of the meaning.
Yeah.
What a cosmic little fuck off.
Yeah.
Wow.
So speaking of Korea. You were born in South Korea,
Yes.
which I don't know if a lot of people realize that. So you're an immigrant.
Yes.
You know, immigrants get the job done.
Always.
I didn't make that up. And,
Thanks, Liz.
you're welcome. And when you came here really young, like as a baby, right?
9 months old, but then I moved back for elementary school.
Okay.
Because we moved like every 3-4 years. And so then third, fourth, and fifth grade were in Korea, and then back to Minnesota for sixth grade, which is the worst time
to move again.
back.
I
Yeah.
really that's what I would choose. The beginning of middle to be new. Yeah, that sounds pretty
Yeah.
great.
Was it in sixth grade or was it before that you Americanized your name? Because I
yeah.
find it really interesting that you reclaimed your name fairly recently. Because I know you and I met you as Sonny Lee.
Yes.
But your name is Lee Sung Jin.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's your given name.
That's my given name. Yeah.
That's your actual name. And you know, so I know you changed as a child, and I was curious because, maybe we talked about this 100 years ago, but I'm curious if you did that as sort of just like a way to get around the inconvenience of Americans not being able to pronounce it, or if you were maybe bullied by, you know, Americans for having that name. What inspired that
It
name
was
change?
all of the above for sure. Because it was sixth grade, I had, you know, kind of a fresh off the boat accent, and like attendance was the worst because it was like the teacher would just add new consonants to my name that did not exist. You know, I'm like, how are you seeing a Q?
Yeah.
You know, there's
Because I would say your name is fairly phonetic.
yes.
It's not like
Yeah.
you know.
But and so every day was just like so embarrassing. And I remember this one kid, Justin.
Always a
he
Justin.
wore a Chicago Blackhawks hat every day, and like out of nowhere, he like grabbed my thumb in sixth grade, and then like did this move to it that like. To this day, like I can't move this thumb back because I think
Justin.
yeah, and that too, like I didn't do anything. I just sort of like took it, you know, and so yeah, bullying, inconvenience, and one day I was just staring at like the name section of an assignment, and I don't know where Sonny came from. I didn't know any Sonnies. It wasn't like I had like watched something with a Sonny in it. You know, I like hadn't like just watched Godfather or anything like that. Like it was just, I like wrote Sonny with an O too.
Yeah, that's so interesting. Yeah, because S-U-N is your last name.
Yeah, very strange. But I did it, and I just told the teacher and friends and my parents that I go by that now. And everyone was like, okay.
How did your parents react? Did they have any reaction to it at all?
I think they probably felt bad that I was going through that. I mean, the reason we left Korea in the first place was because the public education system in Korea hadn't been reformed yet. And so the teachers back then just beat the shit out of you.
Oh my God.
Like truly like the living shit out of
my
you.
God.
Yeah, and like I would come home with like bruises and all this stuff.
Jesus.
And there was this one teacher who would make you do push-ups, and while you did push-ups would punch you in the face.
What?
Yeah, it's truly insane.
I can't imagine why you might be conflict-averse.
and fifth grade I was class president, brag. And
Impressed.
didn't see that in my intro.
We'll go back.
The teachers would do like a conference in the hallway, and if your class, you know, got loud, then the teacher would come back and be like, okay, class president, come to the front. And you would hold the chalkboard, and they'd have this like giant wooden stick, and you would get hit in front of the class. What? And so, you know, I endured like 3 years of that.
Jesus.
And so they were like, okay, we're gonna leave. we'll go back to America.
Wow.
And
I did not know that.
Yeah, and then we leave, and then yes, like the physical abuse stops, but then there's like this kind of like psychological racist abuse that starts. And so I think my parents, just feeling bad, probably were like, Sonny, do whatever, Seth, you know, whatever you want, but you know, but and I say this like all sort of like lightly with a laugh, but like it is like it's insane when I like really think about it.
Yeah.
But like everyone my age in Korea like went through that. If you went to public school, like that's just what you endured.
When did that change?
I'm not sure. I think it was I think it was in the late 90s, but now it's flipped completely the other way, where now students bully teachers. Like, and Korea has like a teacher suicide epidemic where they're just like losing teachers left and right because like the students can do whatever they want.
I mean, that pendulum really swung.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think that's like also like I feel like it's such a microcosm of society because like I think every generation is just like extremely reacting to the previous.
Right.
And I find, you know, and not to constantly tie things back to Beef, but season 2 of Beef.
I mean, please. We really want to keep this promotion.
What we're here to do.
I think that the reason I wanted to tap into sort of the generational stuff is just trying to show that like we're all just reacting to the thing that came before. And if you just keep doing those pendulum swings, like we're just gonna like wildly swing about as a collective consciousness for all of time, you know,
as it has been.
Yes. Yeah. And that's why that final shot in the show is sort of a depiction of the Buddhist concept of samsara, kind of like, okay, like not only are we making like the same like physical mistakes, but like spiritually, like we are like trapped in this eternal cycle of life and death and love and suffering. And sort of the only way to, you know, hopefully someday reach enlightenment and break out of this is to not do that, you know, just to be like chill, like just sit in the middle, you know,
Be more like Sonny.
Be more like Sonny.
I mean, I have such a
in some ways,
it's a long way to go to be chill. This is just, you know, this writing this is just sort of like a constant reminder because I'm so bad at it, you know.
I mean, for all of us. That's
All of us.
We're writing to become better versions of ourselves, or try to anyway.
I think that's why we tell the same stories so much.
Yes,
because like we've covered the same themes since like we were all around like you know, the fire in a cave.
Right. Yeah.
Just literally the same stories for all of time.
Yeah.
Because we are so
Can't
dumb.
get it right.
Yeah. Like we're like deeply moved by something. We're like, oh, now I'm going to change. And then you just like turn the TV off and you're like back to how you were.
My question I was talking to Liz about yesterday, I was like, I am also so impressed. Again, having worked with Liz on Dead to Me, which is a very emotional story, but also has these crimey twists and turns. And then your show also just so many beautiful feelings and ideas, but you also have like a lot of crime twists and there's syndicates and there's fraud and all these things. I, as a writer, have always felt like there's two kinds of writers. There's people who can do feelings and there's people who can do crime and what I would call math.
Yeah.
And I feel like I very much identify as like feelings only. I'm a watercolorist. And I'm just very impressed. Both like I've always been so impressed by Liz's ability to marry the two and then by your ability to do it. And I my question is like with Liz, I'm like, did you always know that you were able to kind of write this level of complicated, I don't know, crime plot stuff in addition to the feelings of it all? Because to me, I feel like I'm very bad at doing both.
That said, she did write on Dead to Me.
I wrote it too, but I was, you know, when you start talking about crime, I would often go to the bathroom. Randomly get a call from the nanny.
Well, I mean, I feel like weirdly our Two Broke Girls time does like train certain muscles.
It does,
like, because I've had actors come up to me on set being like, oh, how do you come up with like alt so fast? And you're like, well, yeah, when a showrunner is screaming at you to be funny in front of a live audience. But then I also think the math of it too, like multicam is so like, you know, if like the math of Dead to Me is sort of like advanced calculus, then like multicam is sort of like algebra, you know, like you like, and there's nothing wrong with algebra. Like you have to learn algebra to do the calculus, but like you spend 3 years like really being hammered about math. And so I think that does help us.
Yeah, and also we had to do 24 episodes a
Yes.
season, so that's a lot of story.
I mean, it is so crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I've never written on a multicam, but yeah, when
That's
like
a lot.
you've had to work on a show that's like double digits
Yeah.
number of episodes.
Yeah.
And now,
Yeah.
like I once worked on a show where we were supposed to do 10 and I was like, pump the brakes, guys. Let's get to a British 6. Like an 8 is a stretch.
No, that's it. We learned a lot, I think, on
Yeah.
that show. And that is sort of just the price you pay of making 24 episodes. Like, it's just a very high pressure environment. But like, yeah, I think you get good at having to come up with like new shit.
Yes. And I think post that, the benefit of being in a lot of rooms too is like kind of learning what works for you and what doesn't, and I've been in so many rooms where I'm like, oh, like why are we like crafting story like this doesn't make sense to me, and so something unlocked for me when I read this article, I think in 2016, where I think a university had fed its machine learning algorithm like all human classic literature, and it found that humans only tell stories in like 6 or 7 ways, and it's all different versions of like rise fall rise fall rise fall rise fall rise fall, which I'm like, oh, that's like not dissimilar from like Kurt Vonnegut lectures where he came up with that man in the hole graph, or when if you think about it, that's just like a rise fall rise. And so then I'm like, oh, wow, that's cool that there's these shapes that exist that can help us. And then I started thinking about music, and I'm like, wow, like our brains just gravitate towards these shapes because modern music only has like 6 or 7 chord progressions that we like. And, like a famous one being like a cheesy one is G, E minor, C, D, G, or like,
Sure, that one.
Yeah.
Famous. Yes.
or like you could, it could also be like, I think like you can move it up and down.
But you're
like
a musician also, right? You're trained.
Well, Korean, I grew up playing the violin. And so,
And you were in an a cappella group in college. Don't pretend.
that I did leave out of the intro on purpose.
Here I am. I'm here to bring it back, baby.
Yeah, rough. But,
He can sing, is what I'm trying to say.
I'm very impressed.
but the shapes are very similar. Like, G is sort of a status quo chord. E minor is like a fall. It makes you feel sad. And then C, D is you're rising back to where you started in G. And that's like literally story circle. And that's sort of like this modern 3-act structure that we've fallen in love with for some reason, where like something bad has to happen and then you have to like climb back up and then you have to return to where you started.
So wait, on the subject of music, you got Phineas to do the second season.
Yes, great
So
segue.
cool.
Are these some of the conversations you had with him?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he is one, like, first of all, just a genius, like
absolutely.
truly
Yes.
a musical genius. And then,
And he has about as many Grammys as you have Emmys. Sort of a
And
really
you must
well
have discussed that.
we did discuss
How
awards
many
for a
awards
very
do
long
you have?
time.
Is it the same as how many I have?
I think Sonny has more to be honest.
Yeah, maybe.
But no, he's such a technical wizard, but then also has a very firm grasp of story. I think because he thinks in these shapes as well. And I told him this rise fall thing, and you worry sometimes when you hire like a composer of that stature. You're like, you hear these horror stories about the bigger composers kind of like writing one theme and then they hand it off to their assistants and then you never see them again. But Phineas was like working tirelessly, like every day. Like he was on tour, would like get off stage and then like work on a cue and then send it to me. And he like, him and his music editor Luke, they edit to picture. Like if you really take a look at season 2,
Oh, yeah, I noticed.
yeah, like every little thing has like a small accent, because he is tracking the narrative rises and falls. And sometimes we talk about what exactly they are because, like we didn't nail it, let's say, on a scene where the writing isn't very clearly depicting a fall. And then he knows musically to help accent that. And so, I brought him on really, really early. I think like way before prep even started, just so we could start having these conversations. And, the type of guy Phineas is, like after our first Zoom, he went like across the street of his house where there was a country club, jumped the fence because he's not a member, and recorded the sprinklers.
What?
And then that's the percussion you hear in several cues.
That's incredible.
Shut up.
Yeah, so you'll be like, like when Oscar Isaac confronts Kaylee Spaney in the pilot at the Bev cart, you'll hear like a
No!
Wow.
and then like that's the percussion, and as the cue dies, like that'll still stay, and just become part of the scene.
I'm losing my fucking mind right now.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
That's incredible.
No, he's
Easter Egg City. Whoa. That's
Yeah.
deep.
he's. I mean, it was one of the best collaborations I've ever had, and like
Amazing.
I truly only want to work with him.
It's
going
interesting
forward.
that he had to jump the fence to only record. I feel like there were sprinklers elsewhere. Like to have to do the sort of crime part.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really going extra.
Well,
extra
it was
mile.
specific to
Yes,
country club.
country
clubs,
club
yes.
sprinkler.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a specific sprinkler.
Yeah, and like like when I hear it, it actually feels kind of soothing to me. But then there's something about the way Phineas then like treated it that it feels very anxiety provoking.
I have
the-
to go back and
The
rewatch
score is
it all
very
now.
anxiety provoking.
Yes.
No, it's excellent. I mean, it's the first time I ever had a scene come to mind from listening to a cue.
Wow.
Because he I'm notoriously very late on scripts. Season 1 so late. And we went so over, and everyone was like, "That can never happen again."
And
then
did it?
season 2, I was even later.
Yes, obviously.
I think we started prep with, I want to say, 3 episodes.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
I'm
no.
actually feeling very soothed by this. Go on.
I mean, it's soothing,
Tell
but
me
it's also
about all the most late moments.
I just started sweating.
No, it was the worst, and that's why I didn't direct more, because like I wanted to direct more this season, and Netflix was like, you can only direct half because we don't have scripts
Yeah,
for you to
you have
direct.
this other job that actually
but
is important
And
too.
were you like, hey, Netflix? That's actually reasonable. That's
su-
actually
super
pretty reasonable.
fair.
Yeah.
But I think we had just written episode 3, and he had sent me the cue "Vicious Thoughts," which is the cue that you hear when in the finale when Oscar and Carrie kiss on the street.
That's a great cue.
It's so
Yeah.
beautiful.
That whole, I mean,
He sent that demo to me, and I got teary, and I texted him being like, dude, I don't know what characters are going to do this, but I just had this vision of 2 characters rushing towards each other in Korea, kissing, and like the camera wrapping around them 360 degrees. I'm like, just thank you so much for giving me like a North Star. And so, we had just that feeling to head towards. And I genuinely didn't know like which of the characters it was going to be when we were writing, episode 4. But as we started mapping it out, I'm like, oh, like it should be Josh and Lindsay because they started in a fight. So
Yeah.
it's like really
oh,
nice
you didn't
to
know who the characters would be in this scene that
Yeah.
you were. Oh, wow.
I just had this feeling that cue conjured of like longing and sadness and wanting to like hang on to this moment for as long as you can. And I mean, it's like, that's a testament to a score that like it literally like conjured that image.
I have to tell you, when I watched that scene, I started crying. Like that was so moving. But I do need to zero in on Oscar Isaac's little
Baby mullet.
baby
mullet.
mullet. Yeah, baby
Sure.
mullet.
Yeah, fair.
Because it's so, like, when I first saw it, I couldn't unsee it.
Yeah, no.
And I was like, this is such a specific, fucking subtle
Yep.
little bloop. And I wanted to kind of just hear a little bit about like how you got to it with like your team, and like how long did it take a couple of tries to like get exactly what, because it's kind of in between baby mullet and I would say a future rat tail.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
The promise of a rat
The
tail to come.
promise.
Yeah.
that's my next book, The Promise of Rat Tail.
Yeah. Okay.
Just
Chekhov's rat tail.
speak to the haircut.
Well, yeah, it was a lot of conversations with Oscar and his hairstylist, Tim, who is amazing. And, Oscar's donned so many hairstyles over the course of his
Yes.
career,
Yes.
and we wanted to do something different. And so much of Beef is kind of like embracing the cringe, like just
Yes.
really looking at like your life and just being like, what is something that was so like, what makes you sweat thinking about your past?
yeah.
And that like baby mullet, I did that for like probably like 2013 to 2018.
You
I
had the
wanna
baby
say.
mullet.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
I thought so, but I didn't want to say so.
Yeah.
Because you do cool things with your hair. I mean, you're not afraid.
No,
this is a very subdued version of your hair, as far as I'm concerned.
It is very subdued, yeah. I'm a dad now, so I'm going
Right.
for
Yeah.
a quiet luxury, but
No logos, no logos.
and so that era too, I mean, a lot of, I think Oscar really resonated with that because he also, I think like the late aughts to the mid 2010s is when a lot of guys in their, mid to late 30s were really into like music festivals. And, that's why we gave him the mini moog as like his instrument of choice.
Yeah.
Because originally in the script, kind of like lazy writing, we just had him being really into acoustic guitar, and that there were several points in scenes where he covered the Lumineers' Hey Ho. and I really wanted to use remember that folk cover of Outkast Hey Ya that was like wildly popular.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I really wanted to have that be like a end needle drop. So we had built this whole thing on like Oscar's character's acoustic guitar love. And, Oscar first thing, he's like, I did that on Inside Llewyn Davis. And I'm like, oh yes, like, famously. Like,
Yes.
And so we were just trying to think about, okay, what's other cringe stuff? And guys who were really into synths in that era was very funny to me. And so kind of like combining that with the mullet felt very specific. Like it tells you who this person is without having to like talk about it.
Oh, it's such a great, like, specific, exactly, like saying it. I mean, a show don't tell.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, which you have so many of.
And such a class thing too. Like
Yes,
that
it
little, like, I'm going here. Yeah.
But if you notice through the season, his mullet does get shorter because
Yes,
I
noticed.
think Oscar Isaac, the real human, just was getting tired of it. And like slowly Tim was like cutting it a little bit shorter.
But it worked in terms of his transformation.
Yes, exactly.
Too, like his character has a real evolution. And by the way, that I don't want to, spoiler alert, if you have not seen the finale of Beef season 2, stop listening right now.
Well, then come back.
But then
Watch
come
it,
back.
then come back.
Yeah, I mean, please come back.
Always
but,
coming back.
The last moments of his character being in prison, being essentially the social director of the prison is so brilliant.
Oh, thank you.
It's such a brilliant way to wrap up a character by bringing them back to a stasis that is like a whole new version, but a very earned version of his stasis. I thought that was such a brilliant touch.
So good.
And listeners, come back.
Listeners come back. And I also just want to say thank you for the little phrase that he says, because it's been buzzing around in my brain. I feel like I'm hearing it everywhere now, and it always like creates a little static for me. Is when people say, "I appreciate you." I appreciate you. Like, I heard someone like say it, and then I was like, "That's weird," and now I hear it everywhere.
It is everywhere because I think that's the fun of what we do is. And when we're writing these characters, just kind of becoming super observant. And I notice like when I'm in a managerial position as a showrunner, you're just trying to like grasp at phrases to make other people feel good.
Yep.
And because again, conflict avoidant.
Yes.
And so you're like trying to tell a writer that we have to rewrite everything they ever wrote, but it's just like, but I appreciate you.
Yeah.
And I hear agents saying that a lot too. And I think like Oscar's character Josh is kind of like an agent in a lot of ways.
Yes.
He sort of dresses like one too.
Like a professional schmoozer.
Like you're sort of the middleman between people, and so trying to find those little like idioms that people grasp onto to make things okay was really fun. But I do, when we were writing that character, like in the room, we were always joking that like we feel like this will be like Hollywood agent's favorite character.
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
But no, I think also like obviously Oscar also brings so much into that. Like there is a palpable like desperation.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not just like a genuine I appreciate you. You feel like all the repression underneath that.
Yeah.
phrase.
No, he does a brilliant job, as does Charles Melton. And there were so many.
Charles Melton, like,
he's-
what a fucking act. I mean, he's just
incredible.
He really is. And there were so many moments in Charles Melton's performance where I saw you. Like
Yeah,
your
sure.
younger self,
Yes.
knowing you,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's a joke Sonny would make,
Yeah, for sure.
And I mean, I could feel you a little bit in all the characters, and as I
Yeah.
think, like, that's
Yeah.
just sort of what happens. Like, we put ourselves in, but there was something so like adorable about Charles Melton's, like goodness, which I
Yes.
think you have. You were just
thanks.
like a good man. They're hard to find. I don't know if you have heard.
It's almost got a ring to it. We like to end each podcast by asking our special guest to tell us something we call our ravioli moment, which is just a story about a time a friend came through for you in a way that you'd like to publicly honor. It could be big or small.
Let's see. I mean, honestly, the first thing that comes to mind is right after college. I was an econ major. I was supposed to be an investment banker, and that did not happen.
It's too bad.
Was going to move to New York with nothing and no plan, and so I packed my little Honda CR-V with all my belongings, and I went to school in Philadelphia, which at the time was kind of like rougher in West Philly. And so I was staying at a friend's place before I moved to New York, and I thought I would be able to fool thieves by covering my possessions with laundry. And I woke up in the morning, and there was like a tie strewn about. Oh, no. And I was like, oh, fuck. And yeah, like someone had broken into my car and stolen like quite literally every single thing I owned.
Oh my God.
I had a bag of important documents, and it included my diploma, which I only recently got when I did a screening for season 2 of Beef at Penn.
They gave you a new one.
Yeah, they heard like the story, and they like gave me a new one, but they stole everything except the Aladdin soundtrack.
That feels like a comment. That feels like they're trying to tell you something.
They were like, "Oh no, thank you."
Like a CD.
Yeah, it was a CD.
Fuck.
Yeah, because I had like those sleeves.
Sure.
And
I feel
they went through every single one and took it, and they just left.
They were like,
Soul Aladdin.
That tells us
you.
something about them, and it tells us something about you.
Yes, it does. But so I was devastated, and I didn't know what to do. And my friends in college at the time, I was involved in the Korean church, which is why season 1 has that Korean church scene. And they went around and just asked everyone for $20, and they gave me $600 to move to New York with. And it changed like the whole move. Like that allowed me to pay for rent the next month. They didn't have to do that, and New York is where I like caught the bug to write, so I do feel like that was like integral to this whole thing. So thank you to
Thank you,
those
Korean
friends.
church members.
Church $600 donation. That's really nice.
That's amazing that $600 covered your rent.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. With $200 to spare, I think.
Damn.
Yeah, because this
Wow.
was 2003.
Wow.
Yeah, go get that baby mullet over at Astor Haircutters or whatever. Thank you for that. This has been truly an amazing convo.
I'm so happy and grateful that you came on the show.
Yeah,
thanks for having me.
you.
I love you. I'm so happy to see you. I'm so happy for your success, and not in like any kind of Schadenfreude way, which I might be for other people.
Oh yeah, I've seen you have that.
You've seen me have that.
Yeah.
No, I'm like truly, I feel like your older sister in some ways, and slightly older.
Well, you're 21. He's 20.
We're
That's right. You're
twins,
right.
but
Yeah.
you came out the womb first.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Buzzer beater.
That's right. Siblings from another.
Yeah.
But anyway, I am so happy for your success and for your friendship, and I love you. And that's it.
That's it.
Hey, thanks so much for listening, and follow us on social media at Here to Make Friends Pod, and let us know who you think we should make friends with next. Email us at htmfpod@gmail.com, and go out and make a friend.